What is going on, everybody? Nitro Freak here, back with another stream. You know who that is. You know who I am. If you don't know who we are, you will now. How you doing, Scotty, tonight?
What's going on, Kyle? I'm doing pretty well. Ready to talk some Eagles stories. Not the best circumstances, but that's what makes us Eagles fans, the good and the bad, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, there was a big headline out today with Michael Vick talking about Carson Wentz, our franchise quarterback, who's been playing like shit for the last month. Let's be real. You know, he played like shit against Dallas, our arch nemesis. He played like shit against the Patriots, our Super Bowl nemesis, and he played like shit against the Seattle Seahawks, who we can never, ever beat. And he got exposed against the Seattle Seahawks in 2017, the one game where he was piss poor and it seemed like he can never beat them. So I want to ask you a question right off the bat. Was Michael Vick right with what he said today on Fox Sports?
And his quote was that Carson Wentz has failed the Eagles or failed the fans. What was
No,
his exact quote?
His quote was Carson Wentz will fail in Philadelphia.
Will Carson Wentz fail in Philadelphia? I mean, I don't think he's a failure. I think he's already had some success. I mean, what do you think about 2017? Should we just like what do you mean his entire career as far as him winning another Super Bowl? Is that like success and failure? Like what define like success and failure, I guess?
Well, what Michael Vick said was that Nick Foles set the bar so high by winning the Super Bowl that Carson Wentz will never ever achieve more than that. Like it'll be so difficult to get over that hump because Carson Wentz was the guy that set up our success heading into the playoffs that year, and Nick Foles finished it and actually won the Super Bowl, which no other Eagles quarterback in history could achieve to do. And he feels like Carson Wentz is pressing and that he's just doing too much at times, and he'll never, ever get over that hump and win another title.
Yeah, I definitely think he's under a lot of pressure right now for multiple reasons. I do think the Super Bowl still maybe lingering over his head. But it's all about this, dynamic in the locker room with Alshon Jeffrey and Nelson Aguilar. When the Eagles paid Carson Wentz, back in the summer, they really made a commitment to him, to the franchise. This is supposed to be our best player. We've invested so much in him, giving him this contract. And they haven't put the pieces around him to be successful. I know he's been playing like shit, especially against the Seahawks. That was probably his worst game ever. Missing wide open people, throwing like 10 feet over Miles Sanders' head on your first drive that could have scored a touchdown.
No, wait. The wind took that throw.
Yeah, or the rain. It slipped, right?
Yeah, it slipped.
I mean, he has sucked, but like I don't know. I think we're being a little dramatic.
Yeah,
to say like he's a failure, he should be benched. Like, yeah, we're passionate fans. I don't want to say we're being like fair weather fans right now, but like let's be a little realistic. Like he had Jordan Matthews and Greg Ward as his wide receivers. He's playing with Jay Ajayi, who just wasn't even on a team. Half the offensive line went out. You got Brandon Brooks with anxiety right now. I've heard tonight that Alshon and Aguilar could have played and chose not to because they don't like Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just so much shit going on. Like, is this guy supposed to be Superman, just block everything else out? I mean, there's so much shit around him happening. I mean, he's human after all. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse not to make a 10-yard throw that me and you could make in the backyard.
Yeah, we could.
But, I think, you got to get the right pieces around him. Let's try and stop the noise. I mean, it's really concerning about this Alshon Aguilar thing. I hope this comes out one day. Like, why do they not like this guy?
Well, I don't think they like him because Nick Foles brought success here in the city of Philadelphia.
Yeah, but so did Wentz in that.
But I'm talking about consistently. Like if you look back to 2013, that year we went 27-2, and we lost to the Saints in the wild card round. Then in the Super Bowl year, he won every big game we needed him to in the playoffs. Then last year when Wentz went down, he won every single big game to get us into the playoffs and beat the Bears and go up 14 against the Saints, where he ultimately threw the interception. And the momentum shifted downhill after that. But he won every single big game we asked him to. And all of a sudden, he's gone for a guy that you could have argued couldn't stay healthy. But I'm not arguing that anymore because he's been on the field the whole entire year. So right now I'm arguing, does he have too much pressure to succeed in the city of Philadelphia? Because right now I have to say yes. I see everyone wants to blame the wide receivers. I get it. Greg Ward's not that good, and he was our best wide receiver on Sunday.
Jordan Matthews was cut yesterday.
Yeah, he was literally cut yesterday, but we both knew he sucked. Our wide receiver core is not good. I understand that, but he had some wide open throws and he couldn't make them. It was pretty simple stuff like that Miles Sanders throw in the flat. That
was awful. That was probably the worst throw I've seen him make ever. Right?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Any
wide open.
Any QB. It was.
I don't want to say it happens, but we have to accept that it was two awful games.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think you're going to give up on this guy. I mean, if he was, if everything was lined up, great wide receivers, a top you're never going to have everything, but he doesn't have anything right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, we can't give up the guy. We gave him 107 guaranteed money, 107 million over 4 years. Guaranteed right in his pocket. So we can't give up on the guy. We got to hope he succeeds. Now, I'm not going to say he's a bust because he doesn't have his weapons. Let's be real. But if he continues to play like this with the weapons that are coming back this Sunday, Jordan Howard and Alshon Jeffrey.
We don't even know if Jordan Howard's playing. But also, I think
we have Jay Ajayi, though. We have Jay Ajayi.
Jay Ajayi's like an average back at this point. Miles Sanders looked great on Sunday. I mean, I think Jay Ajayi had 3 carries.
Well, the thing is, Jay Ajayi was getting some momentum, and then Deuce pulled him out. I was talking to people next to me. I was like, what is Deuce doing? Because Jay Ajayi, to me, in circumstantial running and plays, he looked like our best back on Sunday, and Deuce just kept pulling him out.
Yeah, I disagree with that. Miles Sanders was 10 rushes for maybe 65 yards, something like that.
I'll look that up right now. I'll be the producer. Hold on one second.
I think Miles Sanders definitely, with Jordan Howard's out, I'll take Miles Sanders any day of the week.
See, that's the thing. I'm not sold on Miles. And he's a rookie.
He's been doing a lot better. He hasn't fumbled the ball. I mean, he would have scored that touchdown if Wentz would have got him the ball there.
Miles had 12 attempts for 63 yards rushing, and receiving he had 3 attempts for 23. So
what did Jay Ajayi have?
Jay Ajayi, he had let me see. My phone just closed. I'm sorry. Over rushing attempts, Jay Ajayi had 6 attempts for 16 yards. So he was not phenomenal.
I think you might have thought that was Jay Ajayi.
But I wasn't drinking anything, I promise.
It was because I remember I watched your post-game video and you were talking all big on Jay Ajayi. It was Miles Sanders. Yeah. At least in what I was watching.
Well, Jay Ajayi is number 28 and Miles Sanders is 26. So maybe I was getting the two mixed up, but I just saw the long dreaded hair guy, Jay Ajayi. He was just busting through the line, and I was like, why are you pulling him out? So I don't know. Maybe I just saw things differently. I just don't know. But I don't know. But other than that, how did you think about the game on Sunday?
I thought it sucked. I mean, the offense was all-time bad. Maybe the worst I've ever seen as a fan. The defense, obviously, is maybe one of the best I've seen, especially against Tom Brady last week and Russell Wilson this week. They did give up a couple home run plays, but if you hold the Seahawks to 17 points, I mean, you should be able to possibly win that game. But we're not getting anything from the offense right now. And it's a real issue, and it's, you also signed Alshon to that huge contract after the Super Bowl. You gave Doug an extension, Howie an extension, Alshon.
Yeah.
And you can say all 3 of them have honestly sucked. Besides, I think Doug, once Foles came back in last year, he coached the team up well. When they were 4-6, they went on that run to get the last wild card spot. But Howie and Alshon, since the Super Bowl, have been really disappointing. Howie obviously has not drafted well the past 2 seasons. I think it's a little early to judge this draft class. And the free agency has been a bust. Signing injury-plagued players, Deshaun, Miles, Malik Jackson, both getting hurt. And then Alshon has to be the biggest disappointment. Had a great game in the Super Bowl, was productive last year until obviously that drop against the Saints. I mean, it's just crazy how much has changed on this offense in under 2 seasons. Yep. You know what I mean? To think about it, guys, the Eagles are the only team beside the Patriots to win the Super Bowl in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The Patriots won last year, we won the year before, they won the year before that. So it's we were right there as one of the best teams. Like even all these great teams now, like the Saints, Ravens, Packers, we've won before them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Another thing too that I heard tonight was like that Super Bowl team, just because I'm trying to understand like how we got to the point we're at now. A lot of those players are not here anymore, like the LeGarrette Blunts, the Chris Longs, Patrick Robinson, and they were all in that like win now mode. Like they were towards the end of their careers. I know Patrick Robinson's still on the Saints, but he's like an injury plagued player.
Right.
Everything just lined up that year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So how good is Howie Roseman really?
He's not.
Like, he pretty much did the same thing that he did prior years. It just happened to work that year. He signed these older free agents, and they worked that one time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's his track record.
He got demoted for a college football coach. He got literally demoted for a college football coach. Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, a professional franchise in the National Football League, said, Chip Kelly is better than you at choosing players. We're choosing him over you. Go sit in the corner. That's literally what he said. And when it backfired, he was like, oh, I'm sorry, Howie. Here's your job back, but we're bringing in Joe Douglas to help you out. That's basically what he said. And everyone's saying, oh, Howie Roseman did such a great job. It wasn't all Howie. Like, everyone wants to crown the wrong guy. And the other problem I have,
he definitely deserved it. I mean, he won a Super Bowl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone, should get some credit, but it's just maybe he really wasn't behind it as much as we thought he was.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And the other problem I have with this fan base is you guys do realize how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. It took 58 years for us to win our first. And you're putting all this amount of pressure on one guy who's coming off of 2 injuries in a row, 2 seasons consecutively. You're putting all this pressure on him with, on paper, in my eyes, maybe not your eyes, but my eyes, wasn't even one of our best teams since 2004. I thought 2004 overall was actually our best team, and that team didn't win the Super Bowl. The team that won the Super Bowl in 2018, I would rank our second best team since 2004. 2017, but they won in 2018. So I just don't know where these expectations from the fan base come from every single year. Like, I just feel this fan base just fails to amuse me. Like, I don't know. It's just weird to me,
I mean, if you think Carson Wentz was a top 10, top 5 quarterback, I can see how you have those expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not playing anywhere near that level right now. I think he's ranked like 34th, or I don't know what is ranked 34th. I don't know if it's at his accuracy, something, but like there's 32 teams. I mean, I know a lot of quarterbacks have played this year, but something is wrong. It's a shame. I mean, I think we really got to talk about his mental state. I think that's what it goes back to. I mean, how do you miss that throw to Miles Sanders if you're fucking all there? You know what I mean? It goes back to the Foles situation and feeling like to live up to the expectations or trying to do too much. And also this whole Alshon Jeffrey story that was leaked, but you know what I mean? I think we need to get a clear indication of what is the problem. Like, are they going to have to try and, get rid of Alshon? Just to save the locker room?
Well, you signed your franchise quarterback to 4 years and a boatload of money. So if he is the problem, I love Alshon Jeffrey, but he's got to go. And there's also better options at wide receiver next year. Like AJ Green's looking for a new home. He's not going to be on the Cincinnati Bengals next year. He could come in here. There's other wide receivers on the market. We could go after CeeDee Lamb in the draft. I
mean, for Alshon, you signed with that big year, so you can't cut him. They're gonna have to do
it would be dead money. Yeah, it would be dead money.
Or you have to do a trade for a 7th round pick or something like that. We're gonna have to send a 3rd or 4th pick and Alshon for a 7th round pick.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to do what you got to do, because if he's a cancer, you can't have him here, because you're obviously going to keep the quarterback over a chess piece. You know what I'm saying? So he is the king on that chessboard. Alshon Jeffrey is just a pawn. So you're going to keep the king over the pawn. And
it's just the whole situation is just a shame. You know what I mean? And the All-Star report came out on Sunday, I think, that Wentz had a lot of the receivers and I'm sure Zach Ertz to his house in Houston in July, and Alshon didn't go. So this stems back to who knows how long. This isn't anything new. I'm sure, Alshon's probably felt this way, maybe since when Wentz took back over last year.
Yeah.
From Foles. And maybe it's a loyalty thing to Foles. I mean, that's probably what it is. You know what I mean? Wentz is supposed to be such a religious and spiritual and nice person, so maybe he just thinks like Foles got fucked over. Like what well, you know what I mean? Like he's just being loyal to his boy that won him a Super Bowl, literally got him paid. You know what I mean? It's fucked up, but I mean, I get his right to feel that way. You know what I mean?
Well, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy you brought that up because Trevor and I, shout out to Trevor, Upper Bowl podcast every single, I think, Wednesday. He does a hockey show. Trevor and I were planning to do the post-game show right by the statue of Nick Foles and Doug after the game, but we couldn't because there was a line stretching from there to the pro shot to take pictures of that statue right after the game. So that just shows you what the fan base thinks about that duo right there, and what maybe the players think about that duo, and maybe it's getting Carson Wentz's head a little bit. And it's
I mean, yeah, like they say that the NFL is a business, and it honestly is. But these are real people. They are like real friends, have like real feelings and emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You can only turn a blind eye and say, it's business for so long. Yes, the team thinks like that. But I mean, the players who had that great run, all of them won their ever Super Bowl. Most of them will probably never win one again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like you can't just. It's such a hard situation. You know what I mean?
It is, and it's like I want Wentz to succeed because he's a Philadelphia Eagle. He's the guy under the center, but he's got to play better if we're gonna win with him as a quarterback. I haven't seen a guy drop off this much as an MVP caliber player in this amount of time as I've seen in Carson Wentz. And it's fundamentals. It's not even having the talent out there or not having the talent out there. It's just fundamentals. It's his mechanics that just don't look right. And
obviously if they were winning, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. And probably the players, they might still have that loyalty to Nick Foles, but everyone loves to win. Who doesn't want to win?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the fact that they're losing. Wentz isn't playing well. All the drama. It's just have you seen a year when there's been more drama besides maybe the TO year after they won when he was doing the fucking sit-ups in his driveway? I've never seen a team with more drama than this Eagles team since I've been alive.
Yeah. When you go down to Dallas and get spanked 38-10, that tends to happen, And when you go, anytime you go to a divisional rival and get destroyed like that, I feel like things just slowly start to fall apart. And people kept asking me before the Pats game, are we going to split one of these two games? I'm like, we're not going to win either one of them. And
I thought we could possibly win New England. I picked us to lose on Sunday to the Seahawks. And we honestly should have won that New England game. You know what I mean? If the offense gave us anything in either of these games, we would have won.
Well, they started up 10-0 in the New England game.
You know what I mean? And then it fell apart. And it's like, there's just so many issues right now. Like, why are we not running the ball more? What's the offensive game plan? People are judging like Mike Rowe, saying he sucks, starting to judge Doug, and like just how he's calling the game. Like they're not doing anyone any favors. The offense is just all time bad.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Every pass, you have Ertz and the running game, but that's about it. But
let me ask you a question real quick, and I'm going to dive into this. What did you think about the defense getting a turnover at the end of the game and going into the end zone and flexing down 14 points? I want to get your take on that.
I think – I don't really know, to be honest. I think the way they're playing, like, literally is justified. I think they need to keep that confidence and that mindset to keep playing this well. Maybe they needed to do that. And they were playing Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Now, wasn't it like a fumble? Like they didn't even call it or something,
right?
Though.
No, they got it back. They fumbled the first time, but they didn't review it.
On Seattle, it was like a gift turnover, right?
Yeah, and they got it right back. Yeah,
I don't really care that much. I mean, as long as they're playing well, you can do whatever the hell you want. You know what I mean? Now, the defense played good enough to win. It's clearly that the team is just divided. You can just see that. You know what I mean? If you're a defensive player, like, I don't even know how you're even talking to anybody on offense in that locker room. I mean, the defense is fucking up here. The offense is I'm not going to be on the screen. That's where the fucking offense.
And earlier in the year, it was the other way around.
Yeah, it was, which is crazy to happen in one season. I mean, it's a complete flip. But you know what I mean? The defense got healthy. We can't say the offense is literally fucking in shambles.
Yeah.
Okay, No Lane Johnson. You got Brandon Brooks with anxiety now. Alshon, obviously Deshaun. People keep bringing him up, but he was supposed to be in the plans this year. Aguilar hurt. Like, the offense isn't the offense. It's just, I don't know how to get this team on the same page. Hopefully they can just destroy Miami and everybody plays again.
Yeah.
But, I mean, time will tell. You know
Yeah,
what I
and
mean?
it helps that Dallas did lose to the Pats down the road there because I thought they were going to win. And yeah, I don't know. Now, my take on that end zone celebration is I was turning right next to the girl next to me, yes, and I was so livid. Not only because you're down 14 points and you're celebrating, but it just shows you as a franchise as a whole where it's at right now. You know, they're so comfortable with that 2017 title that they don't care about if they win or if they lose. They just care about individual achievements, individual stats. They don't care as a team. In 2017, it was a band of brothers. They all wanted to win. Now it's just like they don't care. And to me, that's what I saw on the football field. And Jess is with you. Jess was with you. She was like, the defense did a great job today. The offense didn't do anything. They should celebrate. I'm like, it's a team sport. If the defense is doing their jobs, they got to pick the offense right up and say, hey, listen, you got to score some points. That's what a team does. And I'm questioning the character of every single person on this team. And it bothers me as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. And that's just what I saw there.
Well, you know what bothers me is playing the fight song after a garbage time touchdown.
You have to. That's what you do as a Philadelphia Eagle fan, as a team, as anything. Once you score a touchdown, you play that fight song. No matter if you're losing.
No, the Seahawks literally let them score. You know what I mean? Like, they literally
It doesn't matter. You always play that fight song no matter what.
I think it was just, I don't know. I think that was kind of like corny. I have a bigger problem with them doing that than the defense just like saying like, we were the shit today. We want to keep building on this confidence. I mean, I think that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
And that's just my opinion. I have more problem with the fight song being played than what the defense did.
Well, I mean, I also saw with that fight song being played that there was also 20 seconds left in the game. And if we did recover the onside kick, I had a bigger problem with us going for 2. I didn't get that at all. There was 20 seconds left to go in the game. If we recover the onside kick, you could throw in towards the end zone. It would be a tie football game. And at that point, I was talking to my friend Trevor, and I was like, "Listen, I've seen crazier shit happen. You know,
who the fuck is going to catch that ball, Kyle?
I don't know. I don't know. I've seen crazier shit happen.
There's no speed.
Yeah.
There's nobody with good hands. It's like, it's mind-boggling. Like, this is worse than a college offense. This is worse than
Rutgers.
A practice squad. Like, I don't know how there is like nobody out there that they could bring in on the free agent wire. I haven't really looked at the wide receivers because I really don't care that much at this point. It's like, this team is making me not care because when your offense sucks, like, football is not fun.
Yeah.
That's just the God honest truth. Scoring points, exciting plays, that's what makes football fun. Obviously, having a good defense is very important to your team, but it doesn't make the game enjoyable to watch. That game was like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I was there. I was
three and out. Like, it's just boring.
Yeah. I was sitting in the freezing cold. I had 2 cups of coffee, no beer. That's how fucking cold I was.
Just to stay awake.
Just to stay awake. And, I stayed there till the clock struck 0, which I don't know why I do it. I just do. But, yeah, it just wasn't and then someone in the comment section actually brought up something. They did make a rule change with the onside kick. So it's much harder to get it. It's not like college anymore where you can run into an opposing player. You can't do it anymore. So he does make a point there. Final flash shout out to you. But I don't know. It's just this team just bothers me. And then
do you want to start reading through some of the comments?
Yeah. I'll read some comments. Well, I'm going to go right down to the bottom for the first one. Sheik Mansare says, Matt Collins got to go. He is horrible. I'm going to answer that right now with a lot of people that say that Matt Collins should go. The problem with Matt Collins and the reason why you can't get rid of him is because he's a great special teamer. You can't get rid of Matt Collins.
He's the least of our problems. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like, why even waste your breath?
We got rid of Jordan Matthews because you could have been a better wide receiver on that team Sunday. Like, all he did was pump up the wide receivers. Like, come on, guys, let's go. Let's go, guys.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I know you like J.J. is your boy, or like you think he has something left in the tank, but it's like there's a reason Jordan Matthews and him were not on a roster. Like, if they were on a team, we would be a good player still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know what was up with Jordan Matthews. I think he came into the worst situation because he is best friends with Carson Wentz, and his position group hates Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
So I cannot imagine that dynamic and him talking to Alshon and Aguilar, probably knowing what he knows and knows how they feel about him. You know how fucking awkward that is? I'm sorry, guys, but obviously you're doing a job. This is a business at the end of the day, but you're not going to perform well if it's fucking like you're walking on eggshells. You're overthinking. Like, think about it in your own job, in your own life. If you're not getting along with people that you're working with, are you going to be better or worse? You're going to be worse. I mean, it's common sense.
Or it could toughen you up to the point where you're going to be better. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I mean,
well, that's not how this team won the Super Bowl, though. This team was a band of brothers actually, like, went out to eat together. They actually liked each other.
They actually went to North Dakota. That shows you the kind of team they were. Because who the fuck goes to North Dakota?
You know what I mean? I mean, it can make you stronger, but, like, I don't know. At the end of the day, like, I think positivity with as much as you can have is better than, like, building off negativity.
Right.
Especially within your fucking own teammates. Like, if it was outside the locker room with the media or, like, the fans or, like, another player that's not there anymore. But when you're fighting amongst yourselves, that's not productive for anyone.
No, not at all. And it was just it was an abysmal game to watch. It's been an abysmal last month, to be honest with you. I thought this team was done. I said done. I said the word done after the Detroit Lions game. And then they beat the Packers without Devontae Adams.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. I picked the Packers to win.
Yeah.
I thought the season was going down the tubes then.
Yeah.
Because, like, it sucks now because we really needed to win one of those games, the Falcons or the Lions, that we would have a little bit more of a cushion. I mean, honestly, the playoffs are right in front of us if we want to do it. I still want to make the playoffs as a fan, but I hear people today that don't even want to make the playoffs anymore just because they don't want Howie back or they want some type of change.
If I'm being honest with you, I'm going to say this live and on air. I would rather not make the playoffs with this team because they're not very good, and I'd rather get top position in the draft. That's what I would.
Yeah, a couple picks. I mean, if you don't make the playoffs, I mean, you're still probably going to be an 8-8. You're going to be a 9-17.
No, we're not.
I don't see that.
No, we're not.
You don't see 9-7.
Nope. I think we're gonna. What's going to happen?
They might lose to the Cowboys again, which would fucking suck. But they're not losing to anybody else.
They're gonna lose. They're gonna beat the Dolphins this week. They're gonna lose 1 out of 2 to the Giants.
Oh God, that would be just fucking awful.
They're gonna lose 1 out of 2 to the Giants. They'll lose to the Cowboys. I'm not gonna say they'll beat they'll lose to the Redskins.
But that's 8-8 then.
But it's a possibility.
No way.
Yeah.
Look how good. Now they played against the Seahawks and the Patriots with no offense, and they lost by 7? And
yeah, the defense played good.
So you think the defense is going to give up in some of these games if Wentz keeps playing how he's playing?
Yep. Because that's what usually happens.
We'll see. Yep. I mean, if the defense plays anywhere near like they played against those two teams, and those two teams, arguably the two best quarterbacks of the past 10 years, literally Brady has 3 Super Bowls, and Wilson has 1 and has been to another. Now they're going from that to playing Ryan Fitzpatrick, Daniel Jones, and Dwayne Haskins. Like, come on,
right?
Seriously,
and
from the top to the absolute bottom.
And Carlito's Way 277 said, "So you want us to lose the NFC East? That's not cool. It's not that I want us to lose the NFC East. I just don't think we're gonna win the NFC East, and it's not like the Cowboys are gonna win the Super Bowl anyway. So that's just
I hate the fucking Cowboys though at this point. I mean,
everyone does, man. But like, what are they gonna do in the playoffs? They're not gonna do anything. They can't even fucking move the ball against teams with defense.
Either way, I think us and the Cowboys know, unless the Cowboys somehow win the Super Bowl with Jason Garrett, Garrett's not going to be back next year.
No.
Like, seriously, it's run its course. And I think we will make some fucking changes if whatever happens
100%.
with us. We know we need to get younger. We know we need new receivers. We know this offense sucks. The only thing is, if you want Howie gone, I don't think that's going to happen either way, though. So I'd rather make the playoffs and be somewhat respectable. You know what I mean? And not making the season a wash. I'd always rather make the playoffs than not. A couple draft picks here and there is not really doesn't mean that. A couple like slots does not mean that much to me. It's maybe like 5 slots, you'll get a better pick. I don't know how much that really means though. I mean, look at the Ravens. They picked Lamar Jackson at 32. They trade it back up. Anything's possible.
Took our pick.
It doesn't but it doesn't really matter where you pick in the draft. You just have to find a good player. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of a bad excuse to me. unless it's like a top 5 pick, obviously. But we're nowhere near that.
Yeah, I mean, I want CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma. He's a stud wide receiver, and that's what we need. Carlitos Way said the Cowboys don't deserve to win that NFC East. Hard disagree for me because they kicked the shit out of us. That's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, I mean, the best team in the division should win it. I mean, I do not want to lose to them again. Like it would just be fucking disgusting. You would have then lost what, 4 straight, or is it 4 straight now? It's either 4 or 5, which is like just fucking gross.
And we were talking about coordinators. I feel like the Philadelphia Eagles are looking actually into Jason Garrett, Jay Gruden, and Ken Wisenhunt to replace Mike Crow. I think those are the 3 targets they'll go after.
Hopefully. I mean, they haven't brought in an outside guy since Jim Schwartz. I mean, I know he was hired with Doug and to like help Doug along his rookie year.
Yeah.
But yeah, like go out and get somebody. Everyone does this every year. We have to stop thinking that we're smarter than everyone and hiring. I mean, I know Mike Rowe is a receivers coach throughout his career, but we always promote from within. No one even knows these guys. We need someone with reputation to like just get in here and just have a decent offense. Like, the offense should never look like that. I know we have all these injuries, but I mean, it's bad times right now with the offense.
It is. I'm going to read some of these comments. I want all the way to the top, guys. Phantom McCoy says, Eagles fans won't stop until they run Wentz out of town, and then they'll be satisfied when we have to spend 10 years looking for another QB. Hey, listen, I mean, you might be right, but if we go –
It's too early for that, though. Come on. Like,
it is early, but he's obviously not an Eagles fan, so, I mean, obviously they're going to say that. But, yeah, moving on. So we should just get rid of – okay. So Jimmy Boswell says, so we should just get rid of everyone from the part of the Super Bowl team and restart with Wentz. I mean, right now you're kind of looking at that. You know, that's what a lot of people are saying will help make the team better if we were to do that. Because everyone wants to leave the Super Bowl in the past all of a sudden. I mean, I'm on par with that. I think we should move on because the Super Bowl was won. We're trying to win more Super Bowls. You gotta get younger because our offensive line is pretty old. Our team is old. You got to start getting younger.
Can I read a comment? I like Three-Way Productions comment. He said we did better with injuries in 2017, laughing my ass off, which I do obviously agree with that because we won a Super Bowl. But why is this team so injury prone now? Like, that's something else we have to look into. This medical staff, like, shit, I feel like almost every one of our players has been hurt at some point. Is that not true? I think every single player has been hurt. Can you think of one person? I think Jason Kelsey has never been hurt in the past, like, 2 years. I'm trying to think of anybody else.
Well,
Fletcher Cox has been – I really can't think of anyone. Malcolm Jenkins, I think he's played every game. Like, seriously, that's bad. When almost every other starter has missed a game in the past 2 or 3 years.
Well, the reason why we did better with injuries in 2017 was for the fact that we didn't build our offense around a 32-year-old burner. So as soon as he went down, which was quick, our offense got really slow, like very quickly, and that was the problem. That falls on Howie Roseman and the training staff. Honestly, I love Deshaun Jackson. Hopefully, he can come back for a playoff run if it happens. I don't see it happening, but we have him for 2 more years after this, and he'll be 33 next year, not getting any younger, and that's a big problem.
But I don't think you can rely on Deshaun. I mean,
You can't.
The exact same thing is he's definitely going to be injured again. Hopefully, he doesn't miss this much time next year, but like, he's not playing those 16 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you literally have to build for the future.
Yeah. He literally tore his abdominal. Like, that's like, how the hell do you do that? Like, that's like the most uncommon spot to.
And then what about like the thing where he got hurt and didn't want to have surgery and then got hurt again? But if he would have got the surgery, he would have been better. Like, what the fuck is going on in the fucking building? Like,
it's like we have the Sixers coaching. It's like we have the Sixers doctors in the building. You know, they don't know how to.
And like, why? I mean, obviously you can't force someone to like go under the knife. I said that before on this show, but like, fucking be smart enough and like talk him into it. Like, make the right decisions. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it just makes no sense to me. Like, is he that like stubborn and you're just like letting him do whatever he wants? Like,
some people get scared of going into surgery. You know, some people do. And, like, I don't like getting blood work. I hate getting blood work. Like, I don't like needles. I don't like anything. So, I could see why some people would be scared of surgery. You know, you have that fear of not waking up, and that makes sense. But if he didn't want to do it just because he knew his body, that's a bit of a problem to me.
Yeah, and that they listened to him. Like they should have, I'm sure someone else somewhere in time has had this injury before, and just be smart about it.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just not handled right. Nobody knew when he was coming back. There was no updates. Like, it's just a shit show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is $1 billion franchise. Like, come on, guys.
Over $1 billion franchise.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. There's another thing I got to bring up before I read more comments. What do you feel about the Brandon Brooks thing? Because he had high anxiety and he didn't play. He actually played, I think, 2 snaps, and he went out of the game because he couldn't do it. Now, this is something that I've been looking into. Ever since Lane Johnson has been next to him since 2016, he's played every single game, and his anxiety hasn't been that bad as it was on Sunday. Now, when Lane Johnson,
when did he miss for anxiety? Was that Wentz's rookie year?
That was Wentz's rookie year. That was versus Green Bay on Monday night.
Okay, yeah,
where we got killed.
Game,
Brooks just signed a contract to remain with us, and Lane Johnson couldn't play. And as soon as that happened, he's out of the game with anxiety. It's like, can he not play? Can he not play the game of football without Lane Johnson next to him? Like, that's a big question I have to ask.
I don't think it's to do with Lane Johnson. I think it has to do with just the offense sucking. You know what I mean? And, like, obviously they're frustrated, and he probably just had literally an anxiety attack on the field about, like, I mean, I just can't imagine being on that offense right now, 3 and out. Like, it's just, it would just blow my mind. Like, what are they saying to each other in the huddle? Like, are they, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know you have a short temper. I definitely do too. Like we would be so fucking pissed off if we're out there for 3 hours and we can't move the ball at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Turnovers, penalties. Like, I just think it's a stressful situation, and that's what triggered his anxiety. Obviously, anxiety is very serious, especially in today's day and age of mental health. But like I said, I think once there's less pressure on the entire offense, hopefully this just, he falls back into place. He's had an amazing year besides, obviously this little hiccup on this past game. It just sucks that it's another thing added on to already a mess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And Sheik in the comment section said, "Hey, Nitro, I'm subscribed to you already, but what is Scotty's channel?" I think it's your boy Scotty, right?
Yeah, your boy Scotty. Still my channel. I haven't made videos in a while on that, but I definitely appreciate the subscription.
Yeah.
You can also follow me on Instagram at Scott BOUL.
Yeah.
I post some of my Eagles opinions on there and other stuff, my personal life. So if you want to follow me there, you can check me out there too.
Yep, there you go. And we have some more Carlito's Ways going back and forth with some people in the comment section saying, "Yeah, I'm dumb for not finding a way to keep the only QB they got Philly a ring." You're going to get this fan sometime.
Foles isn't really playing that well right now. I mean, I think he would obviously be playing better here. He knows his team. He knows the head coach. Jacksonville is kind of a mess too.
Yeah.
But I don't know, dude. You need good players around you to perform.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care what anyone says. I mean, we always do the comparison with Dak. Dak has 1,000% better weapons, running back. Like, if you put anyone in this offense, they're not going to succeed. We know Wentz not been playing well, but we have literally practice squatters as wide receivers right now. So it's like, how can you really judge anyone?
Oh, and thanks to Eagles01 in the comment section, it would be 5 straight losses to the Cowboys.
Yeah, that would just, I would literally throw up.
Yeah. That would be
the Cowboys they're not even that good. I could see if like we sucked and like they're this like, than how they were in the 90s, but like it should, I don't know why they just like have our number, or like I don't know what it is. I really don't know, because like they're obviously a talented team, but it shouldn't be how it's been, this year. I know last year they won by like a touchdown in overtime, so that really could have went either way.
Right.
But it's going to be a close game when they play on the couple Sundays from now.
Yep. And they're going back in the comment section about Foles and Wentz. And listen, I take this comment a little bit seriously, and this is what's wrong with the fan base here. they're calling Foles a bench warmer that game managed a team. Foles won 3 of the most important games in our franchise's history. Like literally won them in the key moments of the game. And fans just don't respect it. And that's why I always get on people's cases. Like if Wentz has a bad game, I always say like, haha, what now? Even though I don't really want to, it's because of the fan base. And it's fans like this. But it is what it is. Big Jeff Bone, thank you for the $2 super chat. He said Vick is wrong. Hey, listen, we've been discussing it the whole time. Thanks for the $2. And
Thanks, man.
yeah, he's a regular here. So yeah, thank you so much. But
yeah, I would agree with that. I think Vick is wrong too. I mean, again, Wentz played well in 2017. Wentz does not have any help right now. Yes, he has sucked the past 2 games. We get that, but I mean, obviously, Wentz is going to be here. If he sucks like this against the Dolphins and you have Alshon and Aguilar back and Jordan Howard, then yeah, we really do have a real problem. If he sucks next year when you draft an actually capable wide receiver or bring in some younger people, yes, we have a problem. It's just a little too early right now to get the pitchforks and fucking flamethrowers and try and like get his ass out of here.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And I think Vic said that just so we can have something to talk about. It's more controversy. It brings Vic. I think he's on like FS1 now.
Yeah.
As like an analyst. So it's just like it gives him like he can run with this now for the rest of the year.
Well, three-way production said, well, that's the problem. Get rid of Foles' players and replace them with players that want to play with Wentz. And I'm not disagreeing with that. You know,
even though Wentz played with these players before he got hurt, and he played with them. He played well with them. They were 11-2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's literally the only thing I can think of is they have so much loyalty to Foles. They feel like Foles was, screwed over. But it's a business. Wentz was younger. He, played better. I don't know if he played better than Foles in that season. Like statistically he did, but I don't know. They chose Wentz because they drafted him. He's younger. He was, supposed to be the chosen one, basically. You know what I mean? So they did what they did. It's a shame they couldn't have found a way to keep both, but I think like that might have been even worse for Wentz's head, which
would have been terrible.
But it's fucked up. Everyone's saying like just toughen up. Well, like this is just who Wentz is. Like maybe he is like sensitive and shit like this affects him. Like he's human. We can't change his personality and who he is.
Yeah, and he's the one that signed on the dotted line when he wanted to stay in Philadelphia. So
well, who would say no to that money?
It's a lot.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
We actually got him for cheap if you think about it.
Yeah, we did compared to like what I'm sure Dak's going to be paid.
Yep. And
when you think that the Cowboys will sign Dak?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they'll sign him to the richest contract in league history. And I like the way
he's played very well this year.
Yeah, and the thing about Dak is that's a leader right there, and you can tell because he knew he wasn't going to
be a leader, but he does have a lot of talent around him. But that's not like his fault. But I don't think he would play as good if he didn't have Amari Cooper and Ezekiel Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Wentz would like play a lot better if he had those 2 weapons too. And we thought we had one in Alshon. Jordan Howard has played well. I think like not having Alshon has really just fucked this team. Seriously.
Yeah.
And it's a shame.
Well, Dak went into this year with a risk. He was taking a gamble. He wasn't getting a contract going into the year, and he basically wanted to play the year out. And right now, it's paying off for him. That's the same thing I wanted to see with Wentz. Now, I don't know if Wentz knows he's a shell of himself or what's the deal, but he signed that contract right away. And then he goes into the season, he balls out against Washington, and then he looks like the worst quarterback I've ever seen against the Atlanta Falcons in the first half. So
he didn't have Deshaun or Alshon right in that game either.
But he also had a 6 quarterback rating at the beginning of the game. Josh McCown comes out. If you don't forget, Josh McCown comes into the game when Wentz goes into the tent. 3 plays, 3 completions right down the field.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. Yep. So it's just something about the offense, and it's something to keep looking at, definitely. Getting back to some of these comments. They're still talking about Foles, Wentz. And Carlito's Way is going back. And John Gutton says, when is Jackson coming back? Do we need more wide receivers? Well, we could have got Josh Gordon on the waiver wire, but we passed him up. So that's pretty much that when it comes to the wide receivers. We pretty much
read Tyler Ballweber's comment. It's like all the way at the bottom.
Okay. TFP, would you really risk your job to send a message to the coach? That's flawed logic. Hey,
This is
let's.
talking about Alshon, right?
Well, he's not risk. I mean, it's to get a point across, maybe, and then try
But
to not.
this is. Do you believe this is what's happening?
Yeah.
I mean, the report came out. Alshon denied it from Josina Anderson. Like this is real, guys. I mean, it's not that he's fucking hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Like he played through a torn ACL in that playoff run of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really even sure what his injury is right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's true. I think Josina Anderson spoke the truth. I really do. And I think a lot of players just don't mess with Carson Wentz. I really don't. Three-way production says same. I like the Wentz deal, but not the timing of the deal. Yeah, I hated the timing of the deal. I thought we should have waited to sign him, but unfortunately, sometimes it's just not how it works. So just got to move on. Chrono Cowboy says, do you guys think that Frank Reich was the mastermind of the Eagles Super Bowl? Yes, I do. I think Frank Reich was the reason why we won the Super Bowl. Although the one play call I will give Doug was the Philly special, which Foles recommended. And the other side of the field, on the Pat side of the field, when he went for it on fourth down, that was also Doug. So those were two big times.
I think the Super Bowl is definitely a group effort. I think Frank Reich is a hell of a lot better than Mike Rowe. That's pretty fucking obvious. But at the end of the day, Doug was calling the plays. For whatever reason, I don't think Mike Rowe has the balls to tell Doug when he's wrong or have enough input. I don't know why. I think maybe just because Frank Reich was more of a veteran. And I honestly think Doug respected Frank Reich more than he does Mike Rowe. They were both backup quarterbacks, played around the same time. And we need someone that has pedigree. That's why we want to look into like a Jay Gruden, who's won the NFCs before, the brother of John Gruden. Anybody who is Mike Rowe, it's all on Doug. And you need good people around you. You know what I mean? Look at Belichick. Belichick has had great coordinators. Now a lot of them haven't been good head coaches, but they know how to coach football.
Yeah.
Even the greatest head coach of all time has good people around him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Mike Rowe has proven not to be a good offensive coordinator. That's just plain and simple.
Yeah.
Like he was a great wide receivers coach the past 2 years.
It's a big step up.
But not last year, but
huge step up.
Hopefully he's either demoted back to wide receivers coach or, we definitely need a new OC next year.
Yeah, we do. And, I have pretty much nothing else to say when it pertains to everything that we've been talking about. What is your final score prediction on the Miami game this week?
I'm going to go with Eagles 24, Dolphins 10.
Okay. I'm going to go a closer game. I'm going to say the Eagles get a much needed
break it up a little bit, really crackling.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I'm going to go with 21-17 Eagles this week.
I think it depends who plays. Hopefully, you got Lane Johnson back, Brandon Brooks can play, Alshon, but like who knows until kickoff? Seriously.
Yeah, no one knows. All right. Well, with that being said, I have nothing else to say. If you like the stream, smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. There's a notification bell at the top. Ring that. Scotty will be on every single Tuesday, Wednesday. This is a Philly Specialist. If you haven't followed him on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, go follow him. Tell him where you can find him.
Scott Bowl on Instagram and Scott_Bowl on Twitter.
All right, and this is called the Philly Specialist. Thank you to Clash for the name, and we will check you guys next week. Go Birds, and hopefully we win this game.
Hopefully we're talking about a win, and we're in a little bit of a better mood.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully. All right.